Good morning. This is Heather Van Weil with Raindrop Works, coming to you with a follow-up to a story that we started covering the other day about a protest led by a group of students at the Gresham School District High School in Oregon here, asking for the immediate removal of SROs, or student resource officers or school resource officers, from the high school campus and presumably from the entire school district as a whole. As a quick reminder of the backstory to this, in the wake of the George Floyd murder last year, Portland School District and a number of other school districts around the country recognize the harm that is coming to students from having armed police officers running free inside of schools, and how they really don't provide the level of safety that they pretend to be able to do. Last night we had a press conference put on by this same group in front of the school district main building for the Gresham School District. And the stories that they told and the concerns that they brought up were incredibly chilling and sobering. I'm not going to say too much about it right now because I want people to be able to see things for themselves. That said, all of these students out here last night were incredibly brave, took a lot of risks coming forward like they did to tell their stories, to stand up for what they believe in, and I am so incredibly proud of what I saw there. So I'm going to go ahead and play the recording that I got of the press conference last night. I do want to say up front, some of the technical problems that I had the other day did continue, just in new and exciting ways. There are a few bits of spaces where I lost the main recording audio for the video, so there are a few spots that are going to be quieter, and I'm hoping that they're just very brief. So again, apologies in advance for that. Hopefully in the future we won't have to worry as much there. But I'm going to go ahead and step aside here. I'll let the students do the talking, and then I'll be back.
Yeah. Do we all want to take a step closer together, or do we want this little space here? I'm just waiting for the
We're all ready.
You're ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Mary Jane Rice, MaryJaneRice. I am a part of a club of Students Against Depression at Gresham High School, and we are all gathered here today because we all have a mutual concern of the treatment that the POC are getting from the student resource officers at Gresham High School. And this is Stasia Ivory.
Good evening, members of the Gresham-Barlow School Board. My name is Stasia Ivory, and I am one of the members of Students Against Depression. We are Students Against Depression, a coalition of Gresham High School students advocating for a more safe and equitable community for ourselves and our most marginalized peers. This student coalition was created in our own time outside of school after finally having enough of seeing the mistreatment of our fellow students of color. We have come together to create a safe place where students are welcome to tell their peers about things that make them feel unsafe. Incidents of mistreatment or harm. We are advocates for our peers who are afraid to step forward, who can rest assured knowing that when they come to us, their concerns and reports will not go unheard and accountability will be demanded, and that we will have a say in it. We are writing this public comment to all of you and to the community at large because our voices have continuously been silenced, and we have addressed that our school is not a safe place for students of color numerous times with multi-level administration and people in charge. It's unfortunate that the truth of the matter is that this is not anything new for Gresham High Schools. For too long, voices have not been heard, and administration, including the school board, has not done anything to eliminate or prevent these harms from happening. If we have learned anything over the last year and a half, it is that staying silent isn't the answer. We must acknowledge and address harm as soon as we see it. Remaining silent is being complicit. If we are to live free and feel safe in being exactly who we are, we need administrations in charge to do their job now and every day forward. At this moment, we are most concerned about the ongoing profiling, verbal harassment, sexual harassment, intimidation, and serious discrimination done by administrators, but most importantly, the school resource officers. SROs have been a historical and ongoing issue in schools as they have made many students of color feel unsafe and uncomfortable in their presence. So this should not come as no shock. In the uprising after the killing of George Floyd, many schools nationwide since terminated their contract for police in schools, including Portland Public Schools. Gresham, on the other hand, has stated that they weren't a trendy district. Gresham falsely stated that they weren't hearing any concerns and that they needed new and different data about how many students don't want SROs in our schools and how many have really been affected. So here's the data. Over the last few years, we have witnessed the harassment, physical assault, sexual comments, abuse of power, and profiling done by the SRO on campus, been made aware of by fellow students, and even some of us have been subjected to it ourselves. And the number of students coming forward is growing. We do not feel safe with the police working in our school. In the contract our school district has with Gresham Police Department, the written purpose of the SRO is to improve relations with students and ensure student safety. As your student body, we are telling you that this is not our experience on the receiving end, and we are demanding that there are consequences. This is not a politically partisan issue. Our humanity, safety, and well-being should never in any way be made political. We will not allow our intentions or message to be decharacterized so rashly by other students and staff, as it had already begun to be done in regard to our petition signing on yesterday. The injustices towards people of color have been going on in this country since before America was even established on stolen land. And for as long as it has been oppressing us, we have been fighting back. Hatred will not be tolerated. Injustice will not be tolerated. The more our voices are silenced on that, the louder we will be. We will be seen, we will be heard, and that is by any means necessary. Because it is our lives and our future that we are struggling for, and we will rise stronger to care for us when the adults are not. Remove the current SRO from Gresham High School and terminate the contract with the Gresham Police Department now. Feel free to ask us any questions. Thank you for your time.
Can I? Hi, I'm Elizabeth. Thank you for letting us be here. So the petition signing yesterday, how did that go, and what do you still have to do with it?
It was pretty good, but we did face conflict with other students.
The purpose of the petition was to have enough signatures to go to the school board because they wanted a written signature of every student in Gresham that wants the removal of SROs. We have over 200 signatures of students that want the removal of SROs, and I don't know, I'd say that we got a lot of backlash from students and staff stating that they support the SRO. We've been called names, we've been videotaped, and there's a big group of students that are going against us and have made shirts to go against us and stuff. So there's been some backlash, but nothing we can't handle.
Yeah, and can you tell me your first name?
My name is Mackenzie Miller, MacKenzie Miller.
How long has these things been happening at the school with the officer? Has it been a long time? Is it just recently? Is it something that, just give us a time frame.
We've been experiencing instances with officer policemen for many years now. It's not just recent, but there have been more recent incidences that have been brought to us. But over the last few years, we have had several people face racial discrimination from our SRO.
And has he done this in public, in school, in front of everybody, or is this something that happens where they pull someone aside or something? Is this something that's multiple people have seen?
Yes, it's something that multiple people have seen. He has been very public with his racial violence. There are incidences from multiple years ago that have many videos that happen right outside of the school, but there are also things that people experience one-on-one from him.
that was my next question. Are there any videos? I mean, everyone has a phone now. I mean, are there any videos of the harassment or what has happened?
Yes, we have a few videos from certain instances, but others have just been personal accounts.
Is there any way we can get some access to some of these videos?
I'm not sure how we could, but possibly. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's just something. It would help corroborate what you're saying and everything. We kind of need corroboration. And we also need a response from the Gresham School Board too, which we haven't gotten.
We can ask the students who have had those incidents if they feel comfortable with their videos being shown. But at this time, I don't know how comfortable they are with those videos.
And if it's somebody that, obviously we can blur their faces or anything if that's, if we're worried about having a face on it.
Okay.
So,
Great.
I just want to step in real quick, and I want to say to go against what you're saying. It's not about what the video and stuff. I get it that y'all want it because y'all media, but y'all are hearing instances from students that are saying that this is actually happening. So we got to start believing when victims are coming forward and saying that they actually have these incidents, and some of these students here have actually been impacted by it. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I didn't know that, and all I've seen was a prepared speech.
For sure.
And yeah, is
For
there
sure.
anyone who has had an experience that would be willing to come forward and talk?
I have witnessed profiling by our current student resource officer. That I've been profiled for having substances on me, and I've been confronted by staff members threatening my life because of
what was specifically said to you?
I was told that I would end up like Breonna Taylor if I had a substance on me that I shouldn't have had.
That's what the school officer told you?
No, that was a staff member.
The staff? Not a teacher or just someone else? I know you probably don't want to say the name. Can you say what job position they have?
You don't have to say it if you know.
You don't have to. If you don't not comfortable, yeah, you don't have to say it.
Any other questions?
Go ahead.
Estimated how many incidents have you guys witnessed or been a part of or have been witness to? Estimated, or I don't know if you tallied.
I've heard of at least 6 to 7 incidents just this school year, but I know that there's been multiple over the last couple of years. I could probably say around 20 with the current SRO officer.
Thank you.
Yep.
I just had 2 quick clarifying questions. One, currently Gresham High School only has 1 dedicated SRO officer? Okay. And secondly, I just want to see if you could maybe clarify what kinds of profiling this officer and apparently the staff have been engaging in.
Anybody else?
Currently, I have nothing to say about an officer, but I do have something to say about an instance that I had with a teacher. I'm in concert choir, and I was in overtones, but I dropped out a couple days ago. I wore my afro to school, and it was the day of a concert, and my choir teacher, who was white, asked me in front of all of the students in my class if I was wearing my hair like that to the concert. And then after that period, which was a 0 period at 6:45 a.m., and 4th period in concert choir because overtones is in the morning, she said it again in front of everyone and told me that I should change my hairstyle because it was too big and she couldn't see anything. However, there was a gap behind me. And my parents have talked to the school about it, except all I got was, I'm sorry I should have pulled you to the side. But it's not I'm sorry I should have pulled you to the side, it's I'm sorry I should have never made a comment about your hair, knowing that Black people have been scrutinized and discriminated against for their hair. The Crown Act was passed recently there should not be any type of discrimination based on hair, especially towards POC students at a school.
Anybody want to step up and talk about the profiling or anything?
Yeah, I don't want to go too far into incidences just for student safety, but he has targeted students just because of their skin color. He has tackled students. He's spit in students' faces. He has made sexual comments about students' breasts, and he has physically patted down students after school hours, but still inside of the school building. So, yes, he likes to intimidate students of color, especially students of Spanish-speaking families. And, yeah.
Thank
What
you.
would you like? You want the Gresham School District to just get away with the officers altogether, not have one at all? Is that your ultimate?
Yes, our
Like
ultimate goal is to remove all SROs from the building, but we're asking for this SRO to be removed immediately, and for no other SRO to replace him.
What do y'all want to be in placement of school resource officers?
We would like a mental health counselors for one, and then also a community-based security team in a way that allows students to feel safe with the people that are monitoring the schools.
So he's purposely targeting minorities.
Yes. Every student of color has, no matter their race, just students of color in general have been targeted by this SRO.
How is the what's been the response from the administrators, and do you feel supported as students at Gresham High School?
Personally, I can say that I do not feel supported by administration at Gresham High School. I have gotten answers stating that I'm new this year, so I've got answers stating that I've only been here a month and they've heard more incidents coming from my mouth than they have their whole entire career here, and that basically I feel like they try to please me. They tell me what I want to hear, but I've never had anything followed up. I've had many meetings with the superintendent, the principal, and school board members, and each time I've not had a follow-up of what actions are being taken. And yes.
Anybody else want to speak on how they feel about how administration is handling this?
I definitely do not feel supported by the staff members at the school. There are a few teachers who have shown their support, but are afraid to openly show their support because of backlash from their coworkers. And I haven't had things personally said to me, but there was a group of students who did a counter thing of sorts to our petition signing yesterday. And I've heard many teachers in the last few days going up to them asking, "Oh, how are sales going? Is everything, this is so great that you guys are doing this. I'm so proud of you." So it's very demonstrated that they support what we do not stand for.
I am very close to somebody who has experienced kind of racial profiling of just in general targeting. She is Hispanic, and from a teacher, I don't believe it was the SRO, but from a teacher in the hallway that was not one of her teachers, just a random encounter, they commented on the way she dressed, and they asked specifically, why do you clothes, why do you hide your body? And it was just an experience that kind of showed a very uncomfortable, she was just very uncomfortable about it, and it just, I don't know, I felt like it was important to bring up because she is Hispanic as well as, because I remember somebody brought up how it was especially Spanish-speaking families that were targeted, and I do have an account that was happening, so.
So it's more than just the SRO. It's you feel it's kind of entrenched in a lot of the staff of Gresham High School.
Luke, do you want to talk about your incident?
Sure.
So just yesterday, we had our protest, obviously, to get our SRO removed. Collected signatures, it was all good. I was wearing a shirt yesterday that read, "I can't breathe, Black Lives Matter." During the 6th period, I went out to go to the bathroom. One of our janitors was standing out there, and he began to make jokes about my shirt, saying that the message about I can't breathe was funny. And I said, oh, so people's death is funny? People dying is funny? Black men being killed is funny? And he said, that's the part of life, and you need to be able to see humor and everything, and that I need to open my eyes to the reality. He said this to me at my school, a place that's supposed to be safe for me. I am a white student, but I don't feel supported here. It's unacceptable. Thank you.
I have one quick question. Kind of like Luke, right? Yeah, Luke. Like kind of like what Luke was saying. I mean, getting back to the reason you're here is for school. And so, how does all of this that's happening daily, what you're witnessing, what you're hearing, how does that impact school and just your ability to kind of focus on that part of things?
Honestly, it kind of makes it hard for me to focus on anything. When I'm in my choir class, I don't really want to be there at all. I just want to leave. And I dropped out of overtones because, for 2 reasons. I can't stand to be around her, and I don't want to be around her so early in the morning and have to be with her 2 times a day when she's made comments on my hair. And also because I don't want to wake up at 4 in the morning. But just knowing that these things are happening to my fellow students and to my friend being accused of drugs and being told that she will end up like Breonna Taylor, that's disgusting. And we are children and we shouldn't be hearing these words from adults. They're traumatizing. It's hard to focus on school because of the anger that I feel, and no one should be going through this.
I feel like many students struggle waking up every morning and coming to school anyways because it's a very taxing thing on our mental health. So to not feel supported, not feel safe as a person of color at the school, I definitely don't think that makes it better. I've had many people talk to me saying that they don't feel comfortable going to their classes because they just can't handle their responses from their peers on the things that they value. So I think it's definitely making it harder for students to be excited to be at our school.
And could you tell me your first name, please?
Nadia,
Could you-
Nadia.
Nadia.
Hi, I'm Erica Joycill. ERICAJOYASILO. So, it's very tiring having to go to school every day and have to, advocate for my people's rights and just BIPOC people just in general. And I've had so many students come up to us yesterday at the petition and at the signing and be like, oh, I support you 100%, but I don't feel comfortable signing the petition because of the backlash that students would give to them. And it's really saddening to see that because they don't feel comfortable voicing their own opinions. And especially knowing that there are some people who aren't as outspoken and comfortable being super out there with their opinions. It's really sad and to think about how they feel just being enclosed and just not being able to speak up about what they believe in and be who they are,
I do have one more thing to say. This morning, actually, in one of my classes, our teacher did a segment on why police officers are being opposed in schools because of the protest that was happening. And he is one of the teachers that I do feel supported by, and I'm not going to state his name. But we learned that there are over dozens of accounts of student resource officers brutalizing and hurting students, either by tasing, pepper spraying, tackling, or by other ways of abusing them. There was a case where a 6-year-old girl was handcuffed because she was sobbing. She was black. And an 11-year-old girl was thrown against the wall. She was also black. And knowing that these things are happening in other places and not just in our school really goes to show how this is not just a Gresham thing. This is a thing that's happening in other schools too. And it's not a oh, it's only happening in Portland. Gresham is safe. Gresham is not safe. There is no place in the United States that is safe for any POC to be and live at in peace, because we are always targeted by those who are supposed to protect us. These officers are supposed to come into our schools and protect us from school shootings. School shootings happen 0.1% of the time. There's been a school shooting at Reynolds, and it was years ago, and I haven't heard of any accounts of school shootings happening in Gresham while I've been here, and I've been here since I was a sophomore, and I am a senior now. We want to feel protected, and we want to feel safe in our schools. When I'm around the officer we are talking about, I feel uncomfortable, and I do not feel safe, and when he speaks to me, I don't want to talk to him, and I want to walk away. Going to this school is horrible, and it's not a good experience for any of the POC here. It's not okay.
My name is Loic, L-O-I-C. We started this group really recently because we've heard concerns from our peers and our friends, and already the backlash and the discrediting that we've received is insane to me. How our message has been twisted into political views and just extreme twisting of our words that is not what our message stands for. And it's frustrating as we're trying to gather information and gather evidence to really do what we're trying to do, and as we're just getting pounded by these accusations of having nothing behind us and making our claims on nothing, which is not what we're doing. And we are working, we have plans, and we have grounds on these claims. So it's insane to me that people are discrediting our message as they have done through just other people, social media.
We've talked with some staff members that we feel supported by about how these behaviors don't start in Gresham High School and stay in Gresham High School. They extend to the community, and that's a lot of the reason why we are experiencing this at our school, because this type of racial violence and abuse is so normalized in Gresham's community. So to change it, we need to reach outward as well. It's not just instances at the high school.
There's not much of a safe space for people even outside of Gresham, or like just outside of our school. It's very much a reflection, like the instances that happen at our high school is very much a reflection of what happens in our community. And yeah.
Are there any further questions?
What's your guys' next steps? Obviously, you're working on the petition. Where are you guys looking to go after this? If anyone can speak to that.
We are hoping to get that petition to the school board within the next week, but also having a further conversation with other students, not only us, to talk about their concerns and what they want to see, as though we are advocating for all students.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else? Anyone have any last words? Then I think that's pretty much it. Thank you guys all for coming. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I'll do one more question.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Hey, well, Andre, will you get a picture of us, please? Thank you. Well, why you there? Might as well use it.
don't know either. I'm looking at one and then two. Thank you. Thank you. Erica, you want to do? Oh my god, does you really want to do it with me? Caleb, you want to do a chant? Start us off.
Okay, I'm gonna turn it on. I'm turning it on for you, Caleb.
Just gotta be ready, man.
You gotta say it loud, right into the megaphone. You got it. I believe in you.
Know your mom jokes. Know your mom jokes.
Know your mom.
Hey, ho ho, SRO's gotta go.
Hey,
Ho ho, SRO's gotta go.
hey, ho ho, SROs have got to go. Hey, ho ho, SROs have got to go.
Hey, ho ho,
SROs have got to go.
hey, ho ho,
SROs have got to go.
hey,
Ho ho, SROs have got to go.
hey,
Ho ho,
I think Erica needs to use her makeup over.
Hey guys, this is my favorite thing on planet Earth right now. Guys, I love this one. Hey, ho ho, everyone's all got to go. 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 Do it, Caleb. Hey, ho ho, everyone's all got to go. Hey, ho ho, everyone's all got to go. Hey, ho ho, everyone's all got to go.
Hey, ho, ho. That SRO has got to go. And even if I'm still shivering from this, I have to admit, even if the school board decides that they're not going to change their mind on removing SROs from the school, what we saw here from last night needs to be forefront in their minds. Even if only half of what was told here was correct, substantiated or not, it seems dangerously clear to me that there is, much like we talked about, a culture of systemic abuse and racism in so many of our structures in this country. Gresham School District is also one of them. There were a number of times when I was recording this that I had to work hard to bite back, expressing my anger at what I was hearing. And I'm definitely hoping to speak more with these students and get more information on what's going on, how the community can help. And for those of you who live in the Gresham area, if you feel about this the same way that I do, I would really ask you to reach out to the school board here and let them know, as a parent, as a student, as a concerned community member, this is not something that we can continue sweeping under the rug. We need to face this head on. We can't just hide behind this anymore. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close this out for the day. Thank you very much for tuning in and joining us while we saw this here. If you liked what you saw, please feel free to like and subscribe to this channel and the video. Share it out on social media. Please get the word out. And if you follow us, as we get more information about how people in the community can help, we'll definitely be pushing that information out to other people as we are able to share things safely. If you want to help support our work, down in the video description here, I do have a link to our link tree, which has access to our social media profiles as well as donation links if you want to help us directly. If you aren't able to, definitely feel free to share this video far and wide. That helps the kids. Again, thanks for joining us here, and you have a great day.